Hey everybody, I want to talk about an article that actually came out in 2014 in thenation.com about the CIA didn't just torture, it experimented on human beings, and this is by Lisa Hajjar. And what she goes into, and it's relevant because Trump has put some pro-torture people on his cabinet, and several Democrats voted in favor of it. So why I'm doing this article is it's what she goes into is we need to reframe the discussion because people debate, some people think torture is good. Dick Cheney said back in 2012, I'd torture people in a heartbeat. We got valuable information that kept people safe, even though you then have people like John McCain who was like, you get fake information. I don't, it's horrifying. You know, we this is more of hypocritical U.S. military bullshit. So we take this moral high ground, right? We just bombed Syria to stop the humanitarian crisis of chemical weapons, but we torture people. And civilians died in the bombing of Syria last week. Is that okay? And we're torturing people. And Bush and Obama were fine with it. They created CIA black sites, which are hidden locations where they can just torture people. There's no due process. There's no legal representation. There's no nothing. They're just locked up and tortured. And the thing is, you torture someone, they'll tell you anything. They'll tell you anything. So, and why she thinks we should reframe the argument or reframe the discussion to call it human experimentation is, as she says at the end of the article, and I'll quote her, is there's no proponents for that. They're experimenting on humans, right? So if there's the fact that there's people out there like, maybe torture works, she's saying, well, let's just call it what it is. We're experimenting on humans, and that sounds awful any way you put it. But I don't know, there might be wingnuts out there like, yeah, we should experiment on humans. So at the helm of the Human Experimentation Project were two psychologists hired by the CIA, James Mitchell and Bruce Jessen. They designed interrogation and detention protocols that they and others applied to people imprisoned in the agency's secret black sites. In its response to the Senate report, which came out in 2014, the CIA justified its decision to hire the duo. Really? That's weird. We believe their expertise was so unique that we would have been derelict had we not sought them out when it became clear that CIA would be heading into the uncharted territory of the program. Mitchell and Jensen's qualifications did not include interrogation experience, specialized knowledge about Al-Qaeda, or relevant cultural linguistic knowledge. What they had was Air Force experience in studying the effects of torture on American prisoners of war, as well as curiosity about whether theories of learned helplessness derived from experiments on dogs might work on human enemies. Who the fuck are these people? This is the shit the Nazis did that we called abhorrent. The Nazis would take two twins and throw one in freezing water and see if the other one's affected. This is... Your tax dollars are paying for this, by the way. It's almost tax season. You ready to write a check for this? This article goes on, and I'll put the link below. It's unbelievable because no one has been ever really held accountable for torture. The reason why is plenty of Democrats are in favor of it. You know, John McCain, who's pretty pro-war, he publicly comes out against it every once in a while. Just, I don't know what. He's trying to get progressives to vote for him on something. I don't know what. But let's not be mistaken that John McCain is some sort of peace-loving progressive. He comes out on, but torture he comes out on because he was tortured. He was a prisoner of war. And this is why... let me go into some of the Senate. In this report that came out in 2014, the CIA wanted some redactions. So the classification and secrecy that still shrouds the torture program, as is apparent in the Senate report's redactions, and the look forward, not backward position that President Obama has maintained through every wave of public revelation since 2009, an American majority, it seems, has come to accept the legacy of torture. Just like I reported on, people saw the chemical weapon footage last week and went, oh, I guess we had to. Even people that are, vehemently against Trump are like, oh boy, chemical weapon we have. They're just buying it. Well, maybe we need to torture. The war on terror is not the CIA's first venture into human experimentation. At the dawn of the Cold War, German scientists and doctors with Nazi records of human experimentation were given new identities and brought to the United States under Operation Paperclip. I thought we were all heroes because we fought the Nazis. Well, we kept a couple of the really smart, evil ones for our own bullshit. During the Korean War, alarmed by the shocking rapidity of American POWs' breakdowns and indoctrination by their communist captors, the CIA began investing in mind control research. I had an uncle that fought in the Korean War. He was a Marine, and he was in the Chosin Valley, which was this very famous battle. He got detached from his unit and had to do whatever, God knows what, to survive, and came back a different man and never talked about it. But right around that time, in 1953, the CIA established the MKUltra program, whose earliest phase involved hypnosis, electroshock, and hallucinogenic drugs. The program involved experiments in psychological torture that adapted elements of Soviet and Chinese models, including long time standing, protracted isolation, sleep deprivation, and humiliation. Those lessons soon became an applied science in the Cold War. Yeah, CIA's experimenting with humans, guys. Are we okay with it? The article goes on and on about all this horrible shit that they've been doing. And I'll read the last paragraph that Lisa writes about, and I want you to think about this. She says, my point is not to minimize the illegality of torture or the legal imperatives to pursue accountability for perpetrators. Rather, because the concept of torture has been so muddled and disputed, I suggest that accountability would be more publicly palatable if we reframe the CIA's program as one of human experimentation. If we did so, it would be more difficult to laud or excuse perpetrators as, quote, patriots who acted in good faith. Although torture has become a Rorschach test among political elites playing to public opinion on the Sunday morning talk shows, human experimentation has no such community of advocates and apologists. Great point, Lisa. Read the whole article. It's below. This is the CIA. I don't trust them at all. There's no reason to ever trust the CIA for anything. No reason. This is more evidence of it. But they're here to protect us. No, they're not. They're here to protect corporations and their interests. That's what the CIA is. And just hire sociopaths and let them experiment and torture human beings. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Patreon links below if you want to be a supporter. You get a lot of cool bonus stuff. You get to pick some articles. You get your name in the credits. And you're supporting independent media. Like and subscribe and share. Thanks for watching.